basically what I'm showing you here is our reporting engine for the Pot of Gold program. And what I want to show you is one of our newer clients called Peruzzi Toyota. And I'm going to log into our system, and it's a system whereby as a client you get access to the system so you can actually go in and see your store. And what I'm going to do, Peruzzi's been with us for several months now, and in the first couple months they have generated a total of 56 repair orders for a total of $10,691. Now, what's interesting is the service campaign doesn't typically start until the second month of the program, so we've only had one or two service campaigns that have gone out, and they have already generated $10,000 in revenue. But what this program is designed to do is to take your unsold prospects that are sitting in your internet CRM department, and most dealerships have about 10,000 of those leads. And the product, the Pot of Gold, is designed to bring those people back in. So for Peruzzi Toyota, in the first couple of months being on the program, we have been able to help them generate 18 additional sales. And what's very important is this number right here. 15 of those sales are from people that have never bought or done any service with the dealership. So what that proves to me is that those leads, those unsold leads that are in the internet department, there are a lot of potential business in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you now to one of my older customers, Oarsman Chevrolet of Bowie. They've been on the program for 7 months. They started with me the week after Christmas. Been on the program for 7 months, and in 7 months, this dealership has generated 514 repair orders for a total of $191,000 in revenue. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this program costs the dealership $1,500 a month, and that's for sales and service marketing. So on a $1,500 a month investment, they've generated $191,000 in sales. But look at this number right here. Vehicles with no sales or service history. There were 60 of them, but it generated $50,000 worth of revenue. Let's look at that again. So there's 60 people that have never been in that dealership that basically at one point said, hey, I'm interested in buying a car, and the dealership bought that name from an internet lead provider like AutoBytel, DealX, Cars.com, whatever the case may be. They bought that lead, and we've been able to bring 60 of those people in and generated $12,000 worth of warranty revenue, but a total of $50,000 worth of revenue for that dealership just in people that had never been in that store. And if that's not good enough, let me take you to a client that's been on the program for less than 2 months, Proctor Honda of Tallahassee, Florida. They've been on the program for 2 months. They've done a total of 143 repair orders for a total of $28,000 in service revenue in 2 months. So they've invested a sum total of $3,000 in the program, and just in service alone, they've generated $28,000 in revenue. But let's go over to sales for a second. 44 sales, 38 of them brand new customers. These are people that have been sitting in the CRM that have not been properly followed up with, that we were able to reactivate, bring them back into the dealership. And let's just say they are terrible, okay, and they're only grossing $1,000 a copy, which you and I both know that's not the case. They generated $44,000 minimum in sales revenue. Now, our system, we do not report that number because it's none of our business what you're doing on the front end and the back end. Service is a little bit different because we're able to show you the repair order per repair order numbers. But most dealers know what their front end profit is and what their back end profit. And this dealership, we generated 44 sales in 2 months. Pretty impressive numbers. So when you get involved in the program, we are able to now provide you a way to reach those customers that are sitting there in their CRM that are untouched and help bring them back into the dealership. And best of all, we can actually provide you detailed reporting to show you how well the program is working on a monthly basis. And that's it in a nutshell, gentlemen.
Okay, a couple questions. This is really important because, you know, if I'm understanding this correctly, if you have an internet department, you know, or you have a BDC, or you just have a CRM filled with just all these leads that, you know, that, like you said, don't get followed up on, or even people that bought elsewhere. Because as per NADA, the average person that buys a car, somebody else is going to buy another vehicle within 90 days. So those are opportunities for fresh cars. But then even if somebody bought a Honda, for example, we've got Kevin Pruitt from a Honda dealership in Ohio, and Kevin, following on this, if somebody turns around and buys a vehicle from your competitor, you can still redirect them to your service department, because a service customer is 7 times as likely to purchase a vehicle from where they service where they service their vehicle from. So now, what does the dealership have to do this? Like, how does this work? Let's say you got somebody interested, and they sign up. Don't you have like some type of guarantee? Like there's no risk, there's no nothing.
Basically, we've got a guarantee that if in the first 90 days you're not making back at least what you've invested in the program, which 90 days would be roughly $4,500, we'll refund the difference. So there's really no risk for you with this program, because we're standing behind it 150%, because when you can look at these numbers, and just from what we're able to bring in from the service revenue, it becomes a winner for the dealership right off the bat. Because keep in mind, these are internet leads, and as you know, most internet departments do not play well with service departments. So those internet leads are very protective by the internet manager, internet department, and they typically have never been marketed to for service.
No, you're absolutely right. Now, can you just show us one of the most successful dealers that you're working with? I know you showed us a couple examples. Were those the biggest ones, or what's one that because I'm recording this obviously for automotiveinternetsales.com. What is like a huge thing like that's like, oh my God, that's like stupid awesome?
Well, I think the Oarsman is pretty stupid awesome, but let's take a look at Jeff Haas Mazda, because their numbers are kind of ridiculous as well. They've been on the program, they're in Houston, they've been on the program for about 3 months, and in service revenue alone, they got 518 ROs, $100,000 worth of revenue in a matter of 3 months, compared to Oarsman, who's at $188,000, and they've been on the program for 7 months.
Wow.
But if you look here, very strong numbers, but look at the sales numbers. In the 3-month period, they generated 55 sales. That's a pretty strong number. Can you do me a favor,
for people watching this, so they don't know this is smoke and mirrors? How could you validate? Because obviously these internet leads are synced up with the DMS or the CRM. So how do you validate that? Like for this one, I'm a skeptic, hypothetically. Okay, there's 55 cars. How could I really tell that 55 cars came from your particular campaign, or X amount of ROs were cleared? How do you validate that?
Basically, what we do is we provide the report, and once the dealer, they're able to log into the system, they can actually log in and look at it, and they can pull up by deal. Like, for example, you can go in here and you can pull up the actual deal, and you can actually then go through and take a look at them. And actually, sorry, the results of this, I apologize. Click on here. You can actually pull up the deal. There's the deal number. You can pull it up, and you can go take a look at the information. Because what we're doing is we're taking this information, and we're matching this up with people that we sent emails to. So every night we tap into the dealer's DMS, and we pull out all the closed repair orders and all the closed sales, and then we cross-reference that list with the people that we've been sending emails to on their behalf. And we match them up that way. So
now these are
in a lot of cases, we actually miss some sales, because if the dealer doesn't put in the email address in the deal in the DMS, we can't match up to it.
Right. Okay, question. A couple.
Our numbers, in my opinion, are fairly conservative.
No, I think I agree. I think it's mind-blowingly awesome. A couple other questions for you. This is great for all the internet leads that just get stagnant or what have you. How does the process work on your end? Is it automatic? So let's say I'm the dealer, I sign up. What do you do? Do you have access to the CRM and you automatically pull the data? How does that work?
Typically what we do is because everybody has a different CRM and they all don't play well with each other. So simply what we do is we have the dealer send us a file with all of their internet leads. And we like to go back as far as we can. If we can go back 5 years, we really don't care. If you send us 5,000 records, that's great. If you send us 25,000 records, that's even better. The more you send us, the more success we're going to have for you. Because we're going to clean out all those bad records, and we'll get rid of the bad ones. But now we're going to be hitting, whatever that base is. Let's say the base narrows down to 15,000 records. We're going to be hitting 15,000 people that live around your dealership twice a month with a good, clean marketing message. One message is for sales and one message is for service. at some point we're going to hit those people on the right day, the right time, and they're going to come into the dealership. Our program is designed to market to these people until they buy or die.
Okay.
So once you give us that database, we're going to work that database, and then every month what we like you to do is send us an update, because we want your internet department to work those fresh leads for the first 30 days. Because that's typically what we found as being a good number. They work them for the first 30 days, and then if they've got people they're still working with, they'll continue to work with them. But just then give the other ones to us. Our marketing does not step on what they're doing on an individual level. It just complements it. And now you know that those people are being marketed to every single month.
So it's a backup BDC.
Exactly.
Okay, I have a question for you, because I'm going to turn it over to Kevin Pruitt. Kevin obviously is a graduate from NADA University, the Dealer Academy, correct? And he's vice president of operations, and he just got put into the appointed title of service director. Coming from the internet, what questions do you have for this as a dealer?
As far as a dealer, obviously, what is going to be my ROI? Obviously, you show a lot of those ROIs. Do you have more than just what you showed us on the screen of how many dealerships you're working with for maybe more than a year that could give me proof or better understanding of how it works throughout a whole year process?
Well, basically, the answer is no.
Okay.
The oldest client we have has been with us for 7 months. This is a brand new product. We launched this really at NADA of this year. We had a couple of test clients, like I said, but we launched this at NADA, and we have about 18 dealers that are currently on it. Right now what we're doing is getting those dealers, and one of the challenges we've had is getting the DMS integration, and we finally got that resolved 2 Fridays ago. So now what we're doing is just basically getting the rest of the dealers up on the program so we can pull the reporting for them.
Okay, another question. So do you have all your dealers send you their current manufacturers' incentives too every single month, so that when you do send out those emails, is that how you target most of the people?
No, our program is not designed to be, it's not a driven by incentive type marketing. That's stuff that you can do on your own. Basically, what email is done and why this program is unique in its sense is this program is designed to build relationships. Relationships sell cars, not crazy emails and offers. So what we do is we've had professional women writers craft email messaging, because we want to reach out to these people and build a relationship with them, deepen the relationship with them, because we've developed some technology called adaptive sequence messaging, whereby when somebody gets a message and they click on one of the links in the email campaign, say they click on the service coupon link, now we know that person is interested in service. Well, it automatically triggers another series of 6 emails that come out from the service manager. When that person clicks on reply, that email goes back to the service manager. So what we're helping do is deepen the relationship between the prospect and someone specifically at the dealership. If they get an email and they click on new cars, we know they're a new car prospect, they're going to get a series of 6 additional emails automatically sent out to them in a short period of time from the internet director or the internet manager saying, hey, here's why you should buy your car from us, here's why we're different, and basically deepening that relationship. So the emails are not built around offers. It's built around building a relationship and selling them on the value of doing business with the dealership. And that's one of the reasons why we sent out, for example, let me just take you and show you an actual overview.
So Kevin, right now you got your service manager, service guy is sending out $6,000 a month in direct mail. Okay, which is like throwing stuff against the wall and hoping stuff sticks.
Yeah.
Okay, so for $1,500, where they guarantee that in 90 days, if you don't make back at least what you put into it, they refund the difference. That might be a possible, alternative than throwing stuff out in the dark.
True.
Especially if it's targeted and it's trackable and accountable, and you could verify. You could go back in and say, okay, once these things went out, this happened because of that.
Now, some of the direct mails that we do get good response with, but I don't think all of them are highly successful. That's the only thing.
So this might be not instead of, but as a hybrid. All right, cool.
We can still do both.
One of the nice things, like if you look here, this is an actual